segment, we will be discussing about pedigree analysis, which is used in human genetics. We will be knowing how certain diseases will be inherited in children from parents. So, this pedigree analysis method helps in interpreting how the disease is inherited. Here, two questions are drawn by which we can interpret how the disease is inherited. In example 1, here the father is affected. He is deceased. And coming to first generation, the daughter is deceased and the son is deceased. So here 4 options are given. We have to interpret or conclude what type of disease is it. Whether it is autosomal dominant or autosomal recessive. Whether it is sex-linked dominant or sex-linked recessive. Here, there are 3 tips that we can follow. If the diseased gene expresses in every generation, that will be dominant. In every generation, if the affected gene expresses itself, that means in every generation we must find the diseased individuals. Then it will be dominant. It will be dominant. Here, let us see. This is the generation of parents. This is first generation. This is second generation. And this is third generation. Here, from this deceased father, the next generation, we are observing one daughter is affected and one son is affected. We should know whether the father can transfer the gene to his son or he cannot transfer the gene to his son. Anyways, here in these 2 generations, we got deceased individuals. But what about the second generation? Here, this couple has one daughter and one son who are normal looking. And here, his son has, that means his daughter, that means their daughter have unaffected individuals, unaffected children. And his son has also unaffected children. So, in this generation, we are not finding any affected individual. So, it cannot be dominant. In order to be dominant, the disease must be expressed in every generation. In every generation, we must see the diseased individuals where here it is not expressed in the second generation. So, it is not dominant. It is not dominant. So, it is recessive. That we know it is recessive. We conclude that it is recessive because in second generation there are unaffected individuals. Coming to whether it is autosomal or sex chromosomal. You know very well about what are autosomes and sex chromosomes that we have already finished. So, if it is sex chromosome, if we think like that, the deceased male will have only one X and one Y. This X always will go to the daughters only, will be transferred to daughters, will be inherited to the daughters only. He cannot transfer his X to the son. So the affected father must have affected daughters only if it is sex linked. If it is sex linked, the affected son will not be there. So we can conclude that it is not X linked. It must be autosomal. One thing we concluded already, it is recessive. And whenever we find both daughters and sons are affected, it will be autosomal. So autosomal recessive. Let us check this. Recessive must be in homozygous condition in order to be affected, to affect the individual. So here there are two recessive genes present in the father by which he is affected, whether it is sickle cell anemia or phenylketonuria. So autosomal recessive. Here the father is with two recessive genes and the mother may be heterozygous dominant or homozygous dominant. That will be confirmed by seeing their generation, their children. Here daughter is affected. That means one A from father, one small a from mother she got. And it is normal. This is not concerned. This is other child. And coming to the son, here he is not affected. That means one capital A is there to suppress the recessive gene. Here capital A and small a from the father. And coming to another son who is affected, he must be inherited with two small a's, one from father and one from mother. So from this we conclude that the mother is not having capital A because there are two affected individuals, affected son and daughter, where they are inherited with one small a from the mother and one small a from the father. And here normal son is also there because one dominant gene must be there to suppress this character. So here heterozygous mother carrier and affected father has affected daughter and affected son and unaffected son. Both daughters and sons are, when they are seen with disease, it must be autosomal. It is not sex linked. So by this we can conclude that here when we see here C and next the son will be having like this. And when she got married to a man, both children are not affected. That means they have the small a, but capital A is there to suppress that disease. In order to be affected, the recessive genes must be in homozygous condition now. So here when she got married to one individual, again they got affected children. That is why he must be heterozygous. One small a from the mother, one small a from the father. Here their affected son got married to a woman where they got both of them unaffected. So in this generation they have daughter unaffected, son unaffected, and they have unaffected sons, two sons. So by this we can conclude that this disease in question is recessive, plus both sons and daughters are affected. Because of that, we can conclude that it is autosomal recessive disease. Because the X cannot be transferred to the son. Always the deceased fathers will inherit their genes, their disease to the daughters only, not to sons. Then both sons and daughters are affected. It must be autosomal. When disease affected individual are present in every generation, then it will be dominant. It is not the case, it is recessive. It is also called skip generation. In one generation it is skip. That is about the first example, autosomal recessive. Here another example is given. Here both the parents are unaffected. That means in one generation we are not finding the diseased gene, the affected gene, the diseased individuals is not there. So directly you can conclude that it is a recessive, skip generation. Here parents itself are not affected, but they got sons, affected sons, and unaffected daughter and unaffected son. And here, if this unaffected daughter marries to a man, the children, they got one affected son, one affected daughter and one unaffected daughter. That means here both sons and daughters are affected. So it must be autosomal recessive, because it is skip generation. In one generation it is not shown. The affected individuals are not here. The parents themselves are unaffected. They are not diseased, and we are getting both daughters and sons are affected. So it is autosomal. So here the given pedigree shows inheritance of hemophilia. You must be knowing hemophilia is sex-linked recessive disease. Color blindness is sex-linked recessive disease. Phenylketonuria is autosomal recessive disease. And what is about hypertrichosis? It is the development of hair and ears of males. That is why only males it is Y-linked. It is not concerned. So here the disease that is given is autosomal recessive. Which disease is the autosomal recessive? Phenylketonuria is the autosomal recessive. Like this, we can interpret what the disease that is given in the question. When all the individuals in all generations there are diseased individuals, then it will be dominant. Otherwise it is recessive. And if both sons and daughters are affected, then it will be autosomal. Most of the students got very scared of pedigree analysis, but it is the simplest way.